The Bear and Cheryl Show, Buc-ee's edition. Well, as you may or may not know, I'm quite a big fan of Buc-ee's. Now, I live in British Columbia, which is very, very far away from Buc-ee's, so I do not live in the Deep South. Although, I think they have some great things. I think that might be great to visit. I mean, I don't know. I think I might have been Southern in another life. Because their food seems good. They seem to be sweet people. I don't know. They seem to be in the Buc-ee's videos that I have seen. And Buc-ee's, for example, is in the South. It's in Texas. I met people from Texas. They seem very nice. So, and Georgia and other places. So I thought, I had a huge epiphany. So this is a big epiphany, right? Kind of an adult epiphany, but, Bear shares it. Bear shares the Bear and Cheryl show with me. And so I thought he could be here and listen, So he's here. In that everyone knows, if you follow my channel at all, that I've had a really awful, abusive upbringing. I had a PTSD experience of my upbringing. But I'm also very intelligent. So there's a sense of cognitive reserve, meaning that we have the ability to cope with things and manage things. So I am still able to do things, right? And somebody else might not be able to do. But there's an amazing thing that happens here. Being so intelligent, I tend to be very metaphorical. I tend to think in metaphors. I like metaphors, and I like advanced, ideas and thoughts and English and things like that, because that's what I'm good at. So I have this wonderful kind of metaphor thing, maybe, that just comforts me, because that's kind of who I am. And there's a movie called Room, Room, which is a very chilling and scary kind of movie. And it's a very, all about trauma. I highly suggest you watch it, just, if you can, because it's sort of ultimately this uplifting kind of show, but it's kind of very distressing. So what basically happens in the movie, briefly, is this poor girl is captured, as we've seen in the news, and kept captive in this shed, essentially, for years. Now, this is not a real case. I don't know, although that's really happened. This is a novel I think somebody wrote. And the man has sex with her regularly, because maybe that's why she's in the shed. And, she can't leave the shed. She's trying to leave the shed. She can't seem to leave the shed. In his backyard, really, as we find out later. She has a baby. Right? And for whatever reason, he lets her keep the baby. It's a movie. And so the baby is raised in the shed. The baby never goes out of the shed, and the baby has never seen anybody but these two people in his whole life. And he has watched TV, because he does let them watch TV. So they have a TV. And he does feed them and things like that. So obviously he wants them to be there. So that was like my life. Except my mother wanted me to do stuff for her so I could actually leave the house from time to time. But other than that, I pretty much was responsible for everybody and everything, and wasn't allowed to have a life of my own for much of my life. Right? So that I was very much captured, very much a captive, and they meant it, right? So I wasn't even allowed to have friends or go out or get married or do any of those things. Until my mother actually ended up dying. So that was kind of what ended up happening. And then watching the movie for me was quite powerful, because it reminded me of my own experience. And then, just because, YouTube is amazing, I happened to see that, and I have a friend that's in Texas, and I'm thinking, things like that. This amazing gas station keeps coming up in my feed, and it's called Buc-ee's. Now, people in Georgia will know about it, people in Florida, people in Texas, people in Tennessee. I think you guys know all about it. But of course, people up here in the north, We don't know about it. I live in like the sort of the northern part of Canada, really, right? We live, here, and we don't know about it. Well, actually, the southern part of Canada, but the northern part of North America, as it were. So it's just such an amazing store. They have like 120 gas pumps. They have a giant store, and they have everything. Like, they have everything in this store. That they have thought of everything. It's kind of like an upscale, almost like an upscale department store in some ways. Like, everything's well made, everything's well put together. They have a lot of their own brands. They have really clean bathrooms, like crazy, and they have plenty of them. They have kind of like a restaurant place where you can get food. They make the food right there in front of you. They have a bakery counter, a beef jerky counter. They have sandwiches and hot dogs and fries and fudge and caramel corn. They have clothes. They have special events, things you can buy, special t-shirts. They have ices, which we call Slurpees here. In Canada, they have pop, all in like fresh, that you can actually pour yourself and things like that, in pop, what do they call those things? Those things that you can have like dispensers. And, and they have, it's just amazing the amount of things they have. So for me, that felt like, wow, that's like the opposite of room. That's like the opposite of my life. That's like abundance, right? That's like abundance. So it was so comforting, and I wanted so much to go, but of course it's so far away. And let's just say things that are happening in the world today does not make it very easy to travel. So I wouldn't be doing that. But I was wondering if there was a way that I could maybe get something myself anyway, some kind of souvenir. And there was. There's this wonderful company called Texas Snax. So Texas, and then SNAX, Snacks, and they actually buy things and sell them to people who can't get there but want to have the Buc-ee's experience. So I was able to I bought two things because I wasn't sure I wanted to buy the food just because of the fact that it travels a long way, although it's probably fine. I bought myself some stuff. So I thought, let's unbox that here on my show right now. What do you think, Bear? Yeah, he thinks it's a great idea. What do you think? He likes it. So I bought myself a Buc-ee cup. So let's have a look at my Buc-ee cup. Can you see Buc-ee? He's everywhere. He's everywhere. And it's really well packed. He is on everything at their store. There's cups, there's mugs, there's magnets, there is, other kinds of t-shirts, there's baby clothes, there's books, there's buckets, there's, all kinds of things. There's travel mugs. There is plenty of stuff. Oh, hang on. There's even wrapping paper. So this, if I can get it open, is my Buc-ee's mug. If I can get it out of the bucket. Hang on. Can I get it out? There it is. There is Buc-ee. There he is. Do you love it? What do you think? And it's yellow, right? So that's Buc-ee. So this is my Buc-ee mug, which is going to remind me that I have a life now, that I have abundance now, and that my life can be as amazing, as good as the Buc-ee store with the abundance. Resplendently wonderful. And everything else. So I can have that, man. I can have it. So that's exciting. So that's my Buc-ee's mug. What do you guys think? Is there a likeness? So that's my Buc-ee's mug. As well, I also got something else because they also sell bedding and blankets and coolers and barbecues and things for the kitchen, things for your house, and Jesus things right in the store. Like, I don't know how they get to do that, but they get to do that, which is amazing. Like, we should all do that. That's my opinion. We don't do that in Canada, but we should. You have to go to a Christian store if you want to get Jesus stuff. But it's right in the store. So, let me show you. Okay. Ooh. Dun, 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 dun. Look. It's a blanket. And there's no French on it. There's no French. Thank you, God. Because you know I live in Canada. Look, it's Buc-ee's. It's Buc-ee's and it's English. Turn it around. It's Buc-ee's and it's English. How great is that? Well, I live in English Canada, so I can say that. So let's see if I can get it out. I did. So look, it's a Buc-ee's blanket. You guys, look at it. There you go. It's got a giant Buc-ee. Oh, that is a giant Buc-ee. Oh, that's such a nice blanket. And it is big. Look, it's big. Look, okay, hang on. Okay, so can you see it? Can you see my giant? I'm trying to give you the giant Buc-ee face. So, see? And it says Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's. And there's the beaver. There's Mr. Beaver. There he is. There he is, there he is, there he is, there he is, there he is. There he is. So, and this is my blanket. So I just want to say I'm very excited right now. So I had to do a Bear and Cheryl show. And shout out to the Texas Snax people for providing this wonderful service. We love you. So, everybody, that's the Bear and Cheryl show for today. So we'll see you later.